3, 2.
Hey, this is Nico reporting back from. Hey, this is Nico from Unicorn Riot. Check.
It's gonna be awesome. So, looking forward to it.
You're under arrest. I'm pressed, sir. I'm pressed.
Prisons, military, police, feed the beast.
Are you filming now, Chris? To check out more of our media, go to unicornriot.ninja.
Hey, welcome everyone to Unicorn Riot's live channel. Part of Unicorn Riot's mission, if you don't know, is to provide social, context is social struggle, so try to give a little bit of background to what's been going on. And so today the idea is to kind of go through all the videos that we've kind of created so far. There's a few of them that are missing. We're still trying to make that timeline a little bit better, but it's kind of our first try to do this. We figured we'd bring it to you live. We're going to be starting back in April 1st. If you don't know, Unicorn Riot was on the ground April 1st, 2016, when the Sacred Stone Camp was first set up. So that's be the first video we watch. We're going to have a batch of 3. It's probably like 15 minutes all together, so that's how you feel about that, but it's 3 of them. First one's when Sacred Stone Camp was set up. The second one is when the camp went and visited the Army Corps of Engineers and basically had a discussion with them, letting them know they didn't want this pipeline. And then the third one is when that prayer camp moved a little bit closer to the construction site. So that's the idea. Is we're going to start there, go to more recent stuff, basically go to about August 8th, when the Army Corps gave 48-hour notice that they're going to start construction at that site where the Dakota Access Pipeline is supposed to cross the Missouri. So we're going to go to there. But right now we're going to start right at the beginning. If you have any questions too after these first 3 videos, I'm going to try to answer them for you. So we have a chat. Please drop your questions in there. Also, if you have any, you can try tweet them at us as well. Again, we're Unicorn Riot. This is April 1st, 2016. Sacred Stone Camp gets set up.
So this is the beginning of the ride to the Spirit Camp. So there's different tribes that are coming together here to oppose this pipeline, to defend this water. This is the Missouri. And as we're hearing, the Missouri supplies water for the central United States, basically. And they're saying this isn't just a tribal issue, this is a nationwide issue.
Started this ride this morning to show resistance to the Dakota Access Pipeline and to let people know that we're here too, and we're gonna fight them every step of the way. Expect to see a lot of the young warriors, a lot of the community leaders saddle up and ride 30 miles to where the camp is today. we're on the front lines right now. We're gonna fight this pipeline. We're gonna fight big oil.
Here to oppose the Dakota Access Pipeline. They bust, they don't last, and we know that's what's going to happen to our river, pollute our river, and then that's it for us. That's our way of life. It's not good any way you look at it.
We're riding in protest of the Dakota Access Pipeline. It's going to affect everybody. It's a fight for our land and our kids.
If this pipeline that goes through, if it contaminates this water is going to be dangerous for everybody from here all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. We can live without oil, but we can't live without this water.
How do you wash your dishes? How do you wash your body? You get the water from the river. And once it's contaminated and bad, you know, it's going to be bad for us as people.
All too often, public policy, national policy takes place without us in mind.
If that pipeline goes through, if it breaks, or when it breaks, they always say that this is all going to be ruined. Not too many places in the world are safe and pristine anymore. As far as I know, there are a lot of other tribes that are here in solidarity with us.
Good to see so many riders. Oil leaks here. It goes not just here in Standing Rock, but it goes further south. Today you truly are warriors. You're on the front line. You're the first ones, if you will, to stand up for all of our people.
The ride is 30 miles long, and when they get there, they're going to be setting up in the path of the pipeline, the Dakota Access Pipeline, that they do not want there, and they're on their way there to
They're going to put this pipeline, they're going to put it to a burial ground right there. What happens when that breaks? What happens to this? What happens to our water? It's like the same old story with the government and the agencies and big oil. We don't matter. They're coming again. When will it stop? I am not expendable. My grandchildren are not expendable. We have to fight to live.
All right, so that was April 1st, 2016. If you didn't know, we've been out. I went to Standing Rock then. It was really kind of a chaotic drive. But yeah, so if you have any questions about that, you can drop them in the chat. But I wanted to kind of introduce the next one too. And really quick, I wanted to say hi to Susie Q. We got Mary Jo in there and Drew Lane. What's up? How you doing? Thanks for joining us today for our show. We have this other video coming up. It's the second one we made in the series of like before the Army Corps gave a 48-hour notice. So this next video is I think about a month after this last one we just saw, and it's when the camp goes and actually visits with the Army Corps of Engineers, Colonel Henderson, and he is the Omaha district's head, and he was there to basically, it was like a listening session. I don't think it was an actually super official meeting, but you're going to see a lot of people speak as to why they don't want the Dakota Access Pipeline. I witnessed that, and there was anybody there who was like, yeah, let's get this pipeline. They're all like, we're against this pipeline. And so this is what that video is. You're going to see in Yeah, just get to see this meeting. Also, there's a great post about this week. We actually spent a week there, and there's images from every day, short videos kind of explain what happened throughout the day. So if you want to find that on our website, it's on there as well. Hey, what's up, Refugee Blues? Okay, we are going to go to the second video right now. What's up, everyone? This is Lorenzo. We just got to the Sacred Stone camp, and there's supposed to be a hearing with the Army Corps of Engineers, where they're going to tell them they do not want the Dakota Access Pipeline here, and regardless, they're going to keep building out this camp to monitor where the pipelines they go through, which is the Missouri River there. So we're going to figure out what's going on, talk to some people, interview some people, and just get a sense of what's been happening since the last 3 weeks since we were here.
Hi, I'm Justin Rowland. I'm at the Sacred Stone camp here on the northern side of Standing Rock. The camp is a bit empty right now because everybody went to go meet the Army Corps of Engineers down in Grand River Casino. We're here basically to defend the land from the Dakota Access Pipeline. The Missouri River is just right over here, just right there, and they want to drill in is over here too, over to this side. So they're gonna go underneath this river, and their equipment's already showing up, which they don't have a permit yet, but they're showing up anyway. So we're gonna watch today and see what happens.
Hey everyone, this is Lorenzo with Unicorn Riot. We are on the Standing Rock Nation. We're heading towards a listening session where the basically grassroots people, different tribal members have organized a motorcycle ride, a horseback ride, and a run to meet there and basically tell the Army Corps engineers that they do not want the Dakota Access Pipeline on their land. They do not want it to cross the Missouri River, and they're heading there right now. We're following them to hear what they say.
Standing Rock Sioux Tribe and all of our supporters and nations coming together to tell Colonel Henderson to not put his pen to the paper and okay the permit for Dakota Access.
We're all related. My name is Leah Martinez. I am 16 years old. I'm here to stand against the Dakota Access Pipeline.
I want to ask the Colonel to look at my tapoja. This is one of our oral histories that we teach our children. And what you see here comes from Miniwi Tony. He has a song.
Today man has gone too far, and Mother Earth is sick.
This project cannot move forward. I am asking you, the Army Corps of Engineer representative, to deny the permit for the Dakota Access Pipeline. And I'm also here to tell you, be prepared for a fight. All the way along, from north to south. The pipeline will go through because we are here to make sure that it's going to be stopped. Thank you.
Hey, first, I just want to say that it is a great honor to be here with all of you. And please accept my sincere gratitude and appreciation for the elders being here and for your feedback and for all the energy and time that you've put in to ensuring that we hear you and we hear your concerns.
Today we had a visit from Colonel Henderson of the Army Corps of Engineers, and this was just a visit. We wanted him to come and hear our voices, our stories, and then we had a list of people who got up and spoke to talk about how important this water is, why we need the Army Corps to deny the permit, why he should not allow this pipeline to go through the river. And I think many of the people got up and tried to, in their best way, to explain why it was important to them. Our children, our families, our way of life, our culture, all comes from that water. We cannot live without the water. Nobody can live without water. And one of the other things that we're stressing, this is not an Indian issue. This is a people issue. This is a human being issue. Everybody needs water. And so if we don't stand up and fight for water, we're lost as humanity.
We're all gathered here from different places, and it's pretty amazing that different ethnic groups and people come to Standing Rock to help us to fight with Dakota Access. The life here on the camp, it's amazing. We have a prayer area on the side over here. When everyone's welcome, you just come make a tobacco tie or say a prayer. Like people come to camp, stand up against Dakota Access because it's all our life, our water. It gives nutrients and it makes everything grow. Without fresh water and clean water, how's everything gonna grow? I take it for the trees. Once this pipeline breaks, all this is gonna be gone. The grass will be contaminated, the water. Sacred Stone Camp is here, and everybody is welcome to come join us in the fight to stop Dakota Access.
What I want people to know is that Dakota Access is this right here, this spirit camp. This river is the front lines, not only for our survival as the Oteti Shakoi, but also our non-native friends along the Missouri River. We have to protect this earth. We have to protect our water. Without water, there's no life. You can't drink oil and you can't eat money.
All right, everybody. That was the second video we made about the Dakota Access Pipeline and the Spirit Camp. You heard them use the Spirit Camp there. So the Sacred Stone Camp was a camp that came together to basically pray to bring more people and to stop the pipeline. So it was kind of this point that existed for a long time. And you kind of saw in this video them talking about Spirit Camps. I just wanted to say there's like there's a history behind Spirit Camps. Like, this isn't the first one. There was a bunch of them around the Keystone XL as well, and so this is just another one sort of that history that started. And I also want to touch on this video when they're seeing the Colonel Henderson. They're holding that round stone. So as you know, the Sacred Stone Camp is by this city called Cannonball, or if you don't know. Yeah. And also I want to say, I see the questions in the chat. I'm going to get to them real quick. And I just wanted to fill this in, but those round stones were actually created where the Missouri, right here, what you're looking at right there, the Missouri and the Cannonball met. And before, there was a little whirlpool there, and that whirlpool would put out these perfectly round stones, which have a cultural meaning to the folks there. Like they're religious meaning, if you will, spiritual meaning. They're very important. And I think it was 1953, the Army Corps, the people that you see them go meet and talk to, came very much the same way and said, hey, we have this great idea. We're going to create all these dams along the Missouri River and provide you with, free electricity, so on and so forth. But what actually happened was they flooded the Missouri so much with those dams that it destroyed all the land next to the Missouri River where most of these people lived. And also the cannonballs, which are part of like their cultural stories, were destroyed when they flooded it and the people who destroyed it were the Army Corps of Engineers. So as these folks go and meet, there is a history there that I don't know if a lot of people know, that the Army Corps has already done things that have very much slighted people's lives on this land. In this video, you see an older woman who'll come up later. She's holding these pictures, and the pictures she's actually holding are of what the reservation looked like before. And before, there was lush forest along the Missouri where mostly everybody kind of lived. And after they flooded it out, it was all gone. And I read a bunch on it really quick. I'm almost done. We're going to move on to this next video. And the people who wrote said that there was no other land like it. So in order to, you can see the round stone right there that I'm talking about, they couldn't relocate these people after they flooded it. Like, after they flooded their lands, there was no land to put them on that was kind of like the same thing. And it was just gone. And so when that woman was holding those pictures, that's what she's talking about. But yeah, so really quick, I saw some questions. We have Drifting Blues. Like, how long has the tribe been fighting this? I mean, you could say April 1st, was sort of when they actively started fighting. I'm not sure if there's things going on in the background, but I know that I think they were aware at least the tribal council was aware for a longer time than the people were aware. And when the people learned, that was sort of when the grassroots came together and started that encampment, that spirit camp, to kind of call for more folks. Anyway, so I just wanted to say that really quick. I'm not sure if that was really clear, but that's, I think, really important context, that the Army Corps in the past sort of flooded everything out. Someone's asking what the current status of the pipeline is, and somebody asked as well that they're confused about the recent court proceedings. So I'm going to touch on that really quick, then we're going to go on. Right now we're in the second video we're pretty far away from the present. I guess we're months out. But recently the District Circuit Court of Appeals refused an injunction that the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe was trying to put in place to stop construction of the Dakota Access Pipeline. And before that, there was an administrative injunction to not allow construction 20 miles east and west of the bore point of the Missouri River. And so when the District Court of Appeals denied the injunction from the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe, they also got rid of that administrative injunction. There's still other permits that have to be approved, and in the hearing too. We have a post about this. I think somebody will drop it in the chat here in a second with sort of the most legal point, but they still need permits, and the Army Corps of Appeals. It's the District Court of Appeals said that. They're like, hey, we're not the final say, and we really wish we could have ruled in this, but it was really hard to do it based on precedent. So again, the post we posted in there, you can look it up, and the language is all there. The actual ruling language is there, and you can kind of read it for yourself. But yeah, a quick shout out. Thanks a lot, Alan. Your donations are what makes all this possible. So thanks for trying to help us out there. And there's that article there in the chat if you want to check it out. We're going to go to the third video before the Army Corps told everyone the construction was going to begin. This video is about basically the Sacred Stone Camp had been actively praying for months at this point, and they decided they wanted to pray closer to where construction was actually happening. So that's what we're going to watch happen here, is them get a little bit closer, and you're going to hear also more voices of people who are there and why. This is Lorenzo with Unicorn Riot. We're back to the Sacred Stone Spirit Camp, making our third video. If you haven't had a chance to watch the previous two videos, take a look at them to get a good idea of what's been going on. This camp is here against the Dakota Access Pipeline. It's a prayer camp. It's been here for a couple months at this point, and it's absolutely breathtaking. It's where the Cannonball and Missouri River meet. Every sunrise, every sunset is just stunning. Right now, we arrived just as a group of campers were getting ready to go across the river to where the construction site was actually happening to set up a small prayer camp. On our way in, we saw there was man camps. Those are not here the last time we were here. They were totally new, and there's about twice as much machinery, bulldozers, excavators, already starting to build away from the river. They do not have a permit to go under the river, and so this group of folks is coming over here to basically set up a prayer camp, pray so they don't get that permit, and just tell the Army Corps that they do not want this pipeline going underneath the Missouri. We followed them in, and here they are right now.
We are here today to pray in this area, set up a prayer area, and pray that the workers will have a change of heart to stop this pipeline. I'll see you guys in a couple days. Bye. Good luck. Looking at our warriors across the river over there. They're camped out along the bank. Everybody has their different ways of praying, so. But that's our main weapon against this pipeline. But obviously, the pipelines don't hear our prayers, and they can't read an environmental impact statement either.
The people own Dakota Access Pipeline, and what they would like to do is dig a trench under this river. And for Native people like us, we believe and we understand, and we've had a relationship with water since we came into its existence. So for that to be endangered is endangering our way of life, our people. We can't do this. Life depends on water.
So I'm LaDonna Braveboy Ellard. The Sacred Stone Camp was created on my family's land here. We are located on the Cannonball River and the mouth of the Missouri River. My family's been here for a long, long time.
when Dakota Access came out and told us they were going to build a pipeline right across from this area, I'm not quite sure what I was supposed to do. And so I offered this area for people to come and camp so that we could pray to stand up to stop the pipeline.
Spirit camps, I believe the ones that I know of that started were Eagle Butte, Yankton Sioux Tribe, Lower Blue Sioux Tribe, Rosebud Sioux Tribe, and those spirit camps were set up in opposition to the KXL pipeline, which was like 2 years ago, and it got rejected last year. Now up here at Standing Rock, our relatives up here are fighting against the Dakota Access pipeline.
The camps were created to come together, to pray, to work on strategies and how we stand up. But what I'm seeing that's happening in all these camps, they become the center of the language and the culture and tradition, how life should be. I come out here sometimes and I see the kids playing out here and people sitting and visiting and telling stories. I walked into camp one night, nobody spoke English, but they were laughing and joking and teasing. I thought, this is what our life should be like. So to me, these camps are not only standing up to protest something that's being forced on us, but it's also bringing that culture, that tradition and language back again. It's bringing that healing.
So spirits camps actually renew your spirit. If you've never found your spirit, you should come to a spirit camp because you'll find it, or actually it will find you. It will tell you that it's been with you all the time. So it's like a reawakening. People, when they come here, they're reawakened. When you put the call out, we need help, you know. It doesn't matter where you live. If you live by a river and you can't even swim in that river anymore, then inside your brain something is saying, you know, wake up, something's wrong. Unite with us here. Unite at any camp where water is in danger.
I'm looking at the pipes. They're laying on the ground right now. It goes back about a mile or two already over the hills, and they're getting really close to the water now. It's way super close, just like right there now.
The last night we were at the camp, we had the opportunity to follow a group of campers on a resupply run to the prayer camp close to the construction site of Dakota Access Pipeline. The person we were meeting out there had been there a couple days, been through a couple thunderstorms, and was just basically actively praying to put a stop to the pipeline. His name was Bill. He's a Standing Rock member who responded to the call for support and came to the reservation, from my understanding, his first time.
Well, we got a permanent main camp across the river, and we're like, this one here right now is just like a pre-front line camp. We're just a couple hundred yards away, and well, I'm here for three reasons, to do what we can to stop this. I'm kind of like on a spiritual kind of journey too, because the people are spiritual and stuff, and I've been lost. I'm just an urban Indian over in Portland, so I've always been lost, and I had a good sweat with the people, a few days ago. Best thing that I felt in a long time, man. Well, their path to the river is, like maybe a couple hundred feet or so away. And then they're across the road, we can already see that they put pipe in the ground. And so they're going to be, between there and this hill here. This last hill is what's coming down to the river. So, because they ain't got no permit, they done disrespect our people's burial places, and they don't care about the water, and it's the life of our people here. Meanwhile, we just holding the camp and doing what we can do. Get ready.
Alright, so I don't know if that was clear to you, but basically they had moved across the river, across the Missouri, and set up a small prayer camp closer to the construction site. And so that was the third video we made before August 8th. And so up until that point, people had been actively praying every day.
You saw they were there for months, asking for basically the pipeline to be stopped, for more people to come to hold basically the line to make sure it stopped. And then on August 8th was when the Army Corps put out a 48-hour notice saying the construction in that area was going to begin. And the camp sort of set out an alert, and people started coming. And we were actually able to get there. I think we got there August 9th when we heard that the construction was supposed to begin. And we made a video. It's like the day zero video. We're just going to play it really quick, and then I'm going to come back and talk about, sort of set this up a little bit more. But this is right when we got there. This is Lorenzo with Unicorn Riot. We are back at the Sacred Stone Camp, where the news is the Army Corps of Engineers has given the permit for the Dakota Access Pipeline to be built underneath the Missouri. The campers told me they've been praying actively for a storm to come to delay the construction. Construction is supposed to start tomorrow. If this storm just hits, just follow us for updates. We're going to be here as long as... All right, so that I really like that video. So that was August 9th. I'm driving to the Sacred Stone Camp. There was just a massive lightning and thunderstorm that was just across the whole sky. It was just Lorenzo amazing. I can't even explain how amazing it was. But what was really interesting is when I got there, I spoke to some people, and they were saying that they had sweat all night asking for rain to be given more time for more people to come. And this was a storm that happened, so it was pretty phenomenal. You can kind of make out the teepees in the background, like that's how much water was coming down. There's a little bit more footage of this too that I kind of wish I had brought up. But again, so we're gonna go into this next section. It's sort of like the initial when people started gathering at the entranceways to where the bore site was supposed to be, where it's supposed to go underneath the Missouri. And so this is like day 1 through about 3 that we see here. And it's a bunch of really short videos. Some of them have some bumpers in the end. We'll probably take those out if we ever do this again. But this was sort of like thrown together really quickly for you all. And again, if you have questions, please drop them in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer them. I want to say what's up to John Q as well, who has joined us, and everyone else who's watching. Thanks so much for joining us again. We're Unicorn Riot. We're just going through all the videos that we kind of made about the Dakota Access Pipeline resistance, and we just got to when construction was supposed to start just north of the Sacred Stone Camp, so about 2 miles north of where this camp had been there for months, praying to stop the pipeline. So this is the next few series of videos. We're going to play back to back, probably like 5-10 minutes, not super long. Gives you an idea. So go ahead and cue those up.
Yapi. Today we're here at the Cannonball Ranch to make our stand against the Dakota Access Pipeline. Recently the Army Corps approved a permit to go underneath the Missouri River. We are here. There's 2 armed security officers here. We're going to stand our ground and tell them that they have to honor our treaties and that this is still treaty land. I just want to ask the people out there to support the frontline warriors in any way you can. It's been far too long that these big oil industries try to come and ruin our lands.
People, I'm a landowner. They're trying to lay a pipe across our water, trying to poison our future. And I'm here right now in honor of Colorado and in honor of my brother Black Horse and in honor of my mother, President Yellowwood from Ogallala, La Coca Nation.
Stand back. Stand back. Don't fall on anybody. Hey, hold on. Hold on. Hey, come on. Hey, take your hands off. Let her go. Let her go. Let her go. Let her go. All right, now everybody.
Security. American horse. I come from Colorado American Indian movement.
favorite person. I don't know if you saw him. So that was a sort of day one sort of overview. Some of these videos are a little bit out of order. I apologize for that. I'm just looking at the order now, and I think that I didn't do the best job. But if you notice that first day, they were just they're putting up tobacco ties, they were putting up banners at these two entranceways. There's one north and south of the one you're actually seeing now. And that day the police showed up, basically told people they would be arrested if they didn't leave the next day. So they were like, hey, we're going to come back tomorrow and arrest you if you're here. And then the next day we saw that first arrest happen. What actually happened was that there was people at both those entrances, north and south of sort of the entranceway into the Cannonball Ranch, where the bore site's supposed to go for the Missouri River. And the police showed up escorting a bunch of construction workers and went between those two entrances. And you kind of saw in that video that Bobcat was they're making a new road. And that's where that equipment went up. It's like they made a new road in that area that wasn't there before, and started to bring construction equipment in. And those first people kind of came up to the police line and were trying to kind of move in front of it and saying they didn't want it. And then the police started to make arrests. And those are the first arrests, from my knowledge, that happened at this present thing. And also, it's interesting to see that the police hey, we're going to arrest you tomorrow, and they came, they did make arrests. And then from there, also, you can see the kind of escalation of police actions as well. So we're going to go, and again, I think this one might be a little bit before the second one. Yeah, bear with us. We just threw it together. It's going to be a good time. If you got questions, drop them in the chat. Go ahead and hit this video. Hey, what's up, everyone? So that was I think the beginning of the third day. It gets a little mudded up there, but people had gathered in the front. You can also see like the increasing amount of people that were gathered. Like that first day that we saw, there was probably like 30 folks, like 30 or so. And then by then there's over 100, and then those numbers just kept escalating over and like just more and more and more. Yeah, so somebody in the chat's also saying that there's privatized security. In one of the videos you saw, they showed somebody with sidearms. That was a private security firm that was doing security at that time. And there's been multiple security firms now that have done security. It's very common practice actually for these corporations to get private security to watch their equipment. And so yeah, you're seeing private security and a lot of police. The police showed up and they're the ones that started doing the arrest, but this private security is always there kind of monitoring. And so we're gonna keep going. No, thanks for that question, Susie Q. And there's just going to be a whole bunch of videos of those early days. Again, this is about August 10th through the 15th that we're kind of watching now, which was when there was all that sort of gathering of folks right at this entranceway. There was hundreds to thousands eventually coming there and praying every day, trying to ask this pipeline or pray that this pipeline gets stopped. And you kind of get to watch kind of a really quick all put together right now. So here's another one of those videos, and we'll keep going. And eventually we're going to get to the nonviolent direct actions that have been happening recently. We're going to talk to some people in Mississippi Stand, and hopefully somebody from Standing Rock as well. So we're trying to organize that all as we keep moving forward. But yeah, just stick with us, and thanks a lot for joining us. Here's the next video. Something went wrong. No, it's all good. All right, so really quick. So again, we were ad hoc throwing this together. So thanks a lot for bearing with us. We have some more videos coming. I don't know exactly what happened, but it just it got really sudden over here. But yeah, so we have more videos coming, and we have some interviews coming. Right now we're trying to troubleshoot those. I think that's what happened is we're trying to like figure out how to get them into the studio and get them ready. So anyways, thanks for sticking with us. Here comes the next video. Just an overview of the first few days.
What are you being arrested for?
Tribal Chairman Dave Archambault, our Tribal Councilman Dana Yellowfat, and my youngest brother Tony Eagleshield. Tony Eagle, sorry.
All right, so yes, that was I think that's just like day 3. I think is where we're at right now. That was the tribal chair and one of the tribal council folks getting arrested. Dave Archambault III. You've heard probably a lot about him. You've been following the story. Dana Yellowfat. And what had happened is they said that they had seen like one of their fellows at the line alone, and they were trying to get to stand next to her. And then you also see somebody like rushing them with sage, like like hey sage. And the construction vehicles are trying to leave. I think at this point, or the workers are trying to leave, and people are just sort of letting them know they want them to get out of there. So yeah. So next up, we're gonna have 2 more videos before we move into sort of into the non-violent direct action videos we have coming up. I want to introduce, so it's like one video that kind of shows an action, and then there's an interview video afterwards that's somebody kind of talking about the action and why they've been doing this stuff. It's about 10 minutes altogether. So again, oh, and also John Q. What? You're asking about which security firms, right? Private security that's in North Dakota is 10 Code, G4S, and Frost Kennels. And the Frost Kennels were the dog attack that happened. And then so they've been there. Tenco was the first ones that I saw when I was there. Their vehicles headed on the side, and from there we kind of met more and more different security firms. And there's probably other ones, you know what I'm saying? There's probably tons. But yeah, so here's the next 2 videos, about 10 minutes long. Please keep dropping those questions in. As you see, I'm answering them when I get back from watching those videos. Here is basically when construction stopped happening at that site is right after this event, and then we'll have somebody who talks about it. So here's those videos, check it out, and yeah, thanks for being here.
We do this to stop the desecration of Unchimaka. We do this for the next 7 generations. We do this for the unborn children that are coming to this world. We're protecting the water. Our water is life. We stand for our land and our water. We will not let it get desecrated. They are not allowed to make no pipelines on this land.
And eventually the racket of the machinery rose to a point where we could not hear, those of us gathered down there, a little over 300, the prayers being offered on megaphones by our spiritual leaders. The drum, with about 8 men on it singing, became hard to hear. And eventually our women began to cry. Some of our women were standing along the fence line, keeping us out. We're down here in the ditch, and over the fence is the work site and the machinery building their road. And angers began to rise. And 6 of our women over the fence line, at the highest point above the ditch, so you could see the ditch where the police line was. Around 20 to 30 North Dakota State Troopers with body armor, automatic weapons, detachments from the Moody County Sheriff's Office, other local law enforcement. We had 6 girls in traditional dress who were willing to do this. They would make a run for the machinery to get them to stop. And at the towards when we were going to start the action, we were missing 1 girl. There were only 5 there. And so we decided to just go with the 5, and at the last moment somebody said we should put sage in their hands, and it was a brilliant idea. So we put sage in their hands, and one by one put them over the fence, and they began running. They charged the machinery. And somebody said, lift up the sage, and they lifted up their arms, nothing but sage in their hands, and they ran at the machinery. It was wild. It was awesome. We began yelling down to the people, warriors, Hyo, come here, Inachini, hurry up. Lihichiapo, take courage. And sure enough, scores of our people answered, young, old, everything in between. But mainly 7th generation, what we refer to as the 7th generation youth. Kids in their, well, not kids, young men and women in their teens, 20s. They poured through the fence, and our women led the charge. They charged the machinery, and the men stopped working. They ran for their pickups. A couple of them tried to chase down 2 of the girls, and they made a run for the river right down the road they were building, that path. Many of our people joined behind them, and they were telling them to leave them alone. Do not touch me. I was really proud of the way they put it. I can't put it the way they put it. I was really proud of it. And when they got to the river, they looked across, and the camp was right across the river from the access point. They swam across to safety. About 20 of our people to get away, avoid arrest, shut them down and avoid arrest. It was heroic, I think. And then after our people poured in, the sheriff came on the site and was consulting with tribal official and shut down the work for that day at the site because of an unsafe work environment. And then the Moody County Sheriff next day suspended work at the site indefinitely. Well, that's when we shut them down, though. I mean, they didn't come back. I mean, that was the brilliance of the action. You know, that we came there to stop a pipeline. Our prayers during that morning and the singing gave our people the strength to carry out this direct action. You know, and there was little point in negotiating this thing. There's nothing to negotiate. Either they build the pipeline or they don't. You don't negotiate half a pipeline. And either we stop this pipeline or it gets built. You know, if they get their legal remedy here, they'll just get their ducks in a row, and then we're fighting again. There's 4 other routes that I heard of for proposed pipelines from Bakken and other areas up there that are going to threaten treaty lands, that are going to threaten the river. This is just the start. We have to make a stand here because it's going to be one after the other after that. I look at this camp as an opportunity, Oct 16th camp, over this issue, can be an opportunity for our people to begin addressing the broader issues, the historic injustices. They have to, we have to. If this is a spiritual awakening, then we can make it an overall awakening, and of our bodies, of our minds, and the Black Hills issue, and other historic crimes and injustices we can begin to address, and not just for Lakota people, for all indigenous peoples in this hemisphere and in the United States of America. I can't speak to yesterday, I wasn't there, but I can tell you what I know about it. It was learned that they had begun a project, and I don't know what the project was. I suspect it was a new access road to get down to the drill site point. That was located a mile north of where the protest site was, the original protest site where all the action took place the first time around. A group of our people went up there to protest that they were working again. And when they continued to work, when they continued with the heavy machinery, our people took action and went to go stop the machinery again. Only we had more numbers this time. And when they charged the machinery this time, private security on site used attack dogs to repel our people. 6 got bitten, including my daughter. They also used pepper spray. 12 were medically treated for the pepper spray that they were exposed to, and 30 others, or a total of 30, were exposed to it. And again, they shut work down. And there's been a lot of wild talk, but I think all one has to do is look at the video footage and listen to the eyewitness accounts of our people to know what really happened. There are about, I would estimate, 1,000 committed residents of Oct 16th right now. We are living in peace without the need for any police, without the need for any banks, jails. We are policing ourselves. I feel like a true self-sovereign down there, and I felt that way. When I'm able to just lay in the teepee at night and think about everything that happens during the day, I realize how many special things occur every day. They're magical moments, mystical moments, and you feel it. People talk about it. The grassroots are in the camps, support some type of action, praying and hoping, wanting peace. But living under a system like we do, like I've known my whole life, this is an opportunity for us to express our feelings about having to live under that system, this system, where everything's wrong. And everybody knows what's wrong. Ruled by an elite that are faceless, changing at times. And the earth, the environment being destroyed in the name of profit.
Our people! Our nation! Our nation! We run! Our brothers! Our sisters! We run! We run! Our brothers! And our sisters! We run! For water! For life! We run! For one nation! Protect our water! Protect our water!
What's up, y'all? All right, so that was sort of like the run up when construction was stopped at the bore site, where the bore site was supposed to go. After this, we're going to be entering into sort of a lot of the direct action videos we made. A lot of people actually, after that, they created this 20-mile quadrant. Let's give me 1 second here. Yeah. I'm just reading all these notes I have. A phenomenal amount of notes. But basically, after that, there was like an injunction in place saying they couldn't do construction 20 miles east and west, and then people found out they were still putting the pipeline in. So even though that injunction existed, there was pipeline construction ongoing that was at the site. So people started to go out and take direct action to stop that construction and putting their bodies in the line. So we're going to watch a couple videos about that right now. Again, if you have questions or anything like that, please drop them in the chat. We're trying to pull in some interviews right now from Standing Rock and also from Mississippi Stand, which are two sort of ongoing fights against the Dakota Access Pipeline. Prayers, resistance, protections, whatever you want to call them, they are ongoing as we speak right now. And we're going to try to talk to at least some folks from each place to kind of give you an idea of these two sort of just this movement that's happening around the Dakota Access Pipeline to stop it. But here's some people putting their bodies on the line, direct action to stop the pipeline, and let's take a look.
We're doing a non-violent direct action against the pipeline. Pipeline is a threat to my land and of our northern tribe. I'm a Lakota Sioux, and I want clean water for my family and for my relatives to the south.
I'm here to stop this pipeline in a non-violent manner. I come in peace with prayer and unity and solidarity with my indigenous brothers and sisters, and I'm here to protect the water of whole Takias.
To my survivors, to my uprisers, yet to my savages banging on the colonizer. We the survivors, we the uprisers, yeah, we them savages banging on the colonizer. Yeah, we them savages banging on the colonizer. We are finally facing the end of the cycle, an end to the terror fueled by the Bible. Nature's turned against the civilized pale-face, join the struggle or live in denial. The choice is yours, baby, got the rifles laid out for you to claim, and I can show you just where to aim. From a big thunder with mid rain, but we the mythics only can't be contained. Yeah, we the mythics only can't be contained. How it feel knowing we're the very last survivors of a once wild world, and the ruling class don't want us around as reminders. We are evidence of the casual killings studied on Plymouth Rock, the genocide sparked by the thieving vile pilgrims. Any warriors out there listening, we need you if you're able. We need you to be willing. We defending our people, no more playing the victims.
And I can see it in them devil's eyes. And I can see it in them devil's eyes. They want us gonna know it, but we'll be right here. They want us gonna know it, but we'll be right here. They want us gonna know it, but we'll be right here. They want us gonna know it, yeah, we'll be right here.
That's what a warrior looks like.
Water is life. 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 Water is life.
Hi, my name is Julie Richards. I'm a member of the Oglala Lakota Nation. I'm the founder of the Mothers Against Meth Alliance. And I'm here today locked down to this machinery to try to put a stop to this pipeline, to protect our water, to protect our mother, to protect our sisters, nieces.
You know, we're praying, but at the same time,
we're walking. You know, we walk in that path that our ancestors, like, you know, walk first. You know, so that's what we're trying to do. You know, honor our ancestors, honor the resistance. You know, fighting for what is sacred. This is meaningful. That's what I am here. You know, like I put everything away so I can be here with all of you standing up here. You know, I do it with a lot of love for the land, with a lot of love for my relatives, for all these nations that are here together. You know, so Hokahei.
You can guarantee the feds watching, cause we grew up around these revolutionaries who went to Wounded Knee to get their hearts buried. Raised a hustle once I see my mama struggle. Born in the heart where our chiefs bled, where the water tastes like.
Hall, and I'm the media person for Red Warrior Camp. And we got wind of what was happening here, and we engaged everybody to come up and help protect and defend. Why are you here? You're here to protect and defend. This was a moment right now that people had to come together, and they joined forces. And they kept saying, cross this fence. You know, they didn't say anything, they were just saying, don't cross this fence. And it was the women, again, that led that charge, that broke down that fence, that went through.
They had dogs ready to attack people. There was a group of people standing at the front of that bridge, and they were, you know, yelling like we would protect our water, protect this land, and these dogs, they were ready to let them go, and people got bit.
Their own men got bit.
Mm-hmm.
Those dogs are our best friends.
Yeah.
I'm in Anishinaabe, and our dogs are our best friend. To bring those dogs out on us like that, that's why they turned on them.
Degrading and raping our Mother Earth. Yeah. And protect our water rights. So thankful that you answered the call today.
All right. So we're gonna be switching up really quick. We have an interview actually out of Mississippi Stand, and we think they're in there. We're gonna test this, make sure it works out okay. But before we do that, we're gonna show you a few videos from Mississippi Stand. So if you don't know, Unicorn Riot sent some folks out to Iowa, where they're actively drilling underneath the Mississippi River to put the Dakota Access Pipeline underneath there. There's an encampment that's been there 24 hours a day since August 30th. And we were lucky enough to get there and sort of cover what's been going on. So here's a couple videos to give you an idea of that, and then we're going to bring Ruby in and hope that everything works out okay, and just have a little bit of a conversation. So check out Mississippi Stand.
Water is life! Water is life! Water is life!
Water is life. If we do not do this, our future generations are going to pay. Our future generations are at stake. Everyone drinks the same water.
Water is life! Water is life!
Off the road, you're under arrest! Off the road, you're under arrest!
I believe in the water for my children and my grandchildren. Keep the water clean. 7 grandbabies want clean water.
We're in Iowa, where they're doing pipeline construction to put pipeline in the Mississippi River to transport crude oil. We're shutting down horizontal directional drilling under the Mississippi River, where they are trying to lay the Dakota Access Pipeline. I'm here because I just feel that it's the right thing to do, and the day that oil and greed becomes more important than water is the day darkness overshadows us, and I simply can't let it happen. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I haven't been in trouble before, and I'm not worried because I know this is the right thing to do. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. And yeah, you know, if we don't have clean water, we're gonna get sick, and we can't do laundry, shower, wash our hands. I mean, it's obviously just chaos, social chaos, and really dark times ahead if we allow this. And I can't, when I think about my nephew and the children ahead of us, my heart just breaks. And if you have any humanity and any empathy left in you, please understand the seriousness of this. And that's also why I'm doing it, because I feel like a lot of people don't understand how serious it is. And I want people to understand, you know? If this young little chick can get up on that thing, anybody can.
Where's your glory gone? Your glory's gone, my man. Pawned it off for the pipe, Mr. Stone. Now your glory's gone. What have you gained? What have you gained, my man? What have you gained from a love you feigned? Oh, what have you gained? Got it set in stone. Got it set in stone, Mr. Stone. Got it set in stone, you wanna walk alone. Oh, you got it set in stone. Lingers in your song. Hear you singing and it's lingering in your song. Lingering in your song, I wanna sing along. Lingering in your song. Heard it on the wind. Ooh. Took off walking and I heard it on the wind. Heard it on the wind, it's coming back again.
Well, all pipelines eventually leak, and an oil spill in the Mississippi River would be tragic. Where I come from in Oregon, they want to export natural gas, and they want a horizontal directional drill under 4 rivers there. But no river should be drilled under, no pipelines should be laid in the ground anywhere. This is about all water, this is about all pipelines.
Glory's gone, my man. Pawned it off for the pipe, Mr. Stone. Now your glory's gone.
All right. So that was Mississippi Stan, a couple videos. We're gonna actually bring in Ruby from Mississippi Stan here in a second. I gotta give you a little bit of background. Like, as you know, there are like this ongoing encampment in North Dakota. It's giant. Thousands of people. They've been there for a long time. Got a lot of a lot of attention. But in that time, we have Ruby here. I'll bring Ruby in. Hey, Ruby. Can you hear us? Okay.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's working perfectly. We're just amazed.
Right on.
Just amazed it's working. I'm amazed. But anyways, so that's really quick. If you want to introduce yourself and sort of talk about where you're at and what's been going on there.
Yeah, so I'm Ruby. I came from Phoenix, Arizona on my way to Standing Rock. I spent a few days up there and saw that they were really well cared for. Their organization is on point and they have plenty of resources and great media. And I found out about Mississippi Stand, where it is the same pipeline that they are drilling, and they're actively boring underneath the Mississippi night and day. So this is...
Oh, there it is. Okay. I was worried that it was going to be perfect, and I would not have any sort of way to contextualize that experience. Oh, so you're saying they've been boring underneath the Mississippi River for 24 hours a day now?
Yeah, I was camping in the ditch, living in protest there on Mississippi River Road for the past 2 or 3 weeks, and you could hear that boring underneath the Mississippi night and day. And although they're not supposed to be drilling underneath during the night because they can't guarantee their workmanship, that was occurring. So they have been able to speed up their process and meet their deadlines a lot quicker than anticipated.
Oh, so it's... Sorry, I'm just looking at our chat, too. Someone was asking how much of the pipeline... Do you know how much of the pipeline's been completed in Iowa yet?
Well, the majority of it has been completed, and we're getting different numbers from different people. And at least 12 days ago, I heard on the radio here locally that they were going to be completed with the boring underneath the Mississippi within 10 days. So they're 2 days late. And there's just been a lot of misinformation out here from the Dakota Access Pipeline with us and also with the locals here. The locals have been supportive, but they have also been misled in the fact that most of these people are living with tight ends and working to make ends meet. And when this oil pipeline came in, they offered them jobs, they offered them money, and they provided neither. Most of the construction workers and security guards here are from out of state, and so they went in with this pretense, or they allowed them in with this pretense of them being supported by this oil industry. And as we know, that's just not true. So we are rallying here with local support, but we need more support nationally. Standing Rock has it down. They're not actually drilling underneath any major waterway over there. Where here on the front lines as well, they are drilling underneath the second largest aquifer in the world, and they are getting dangerously close to completion, and we need more frontline water protectors desperately.
And really quick, does Mississippi Stand have like a website or like someplace some people can go look for this information, like a Facebook page?
For sure, MississippiStand.com, and our Facebook is updated regularly with our press releases that are sent out locally and nationally. Mississippi Stand on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, all of that. But the website, MississippiStand.com, has all of the information as far as what we need in regards to resources, because winter is definitely on the table now, and we are definitely staying, but we need more, like I said, frontline water protectors that are willing to throw down and get in the way of this catastrophe waiting to happen. They're boring underneath the Mississippi, and they're planning this pipeline right along the New Madrid fault line, and that is waiting to burst within the next year. So it's really precarious, and we just need people here now.
And then I had one other question. I don't know if you have more information about this, but I heard that there's multiple eminent domain cases going on right now in Iowa. Is that true? Do you have information about that?
Definitely, yeah. The eminent domain has been used here under the false pretense that this is a public works and this is a public utility, but it is obviously for private gain. And there are many locals that have had their land seized through eminent domain for private gain, as the tagline goes.
Oh, we got real quiet there. I lost audio. Let's give one second. Looks like there's a little bit of an audio issue. Ruby, I'm not sure if you can hear me. We lost audio on your end. So we'll give it a second. There's another video we're going to watch real quick while we bring that audio back up. We have a video of this right here. It's a truck shutdown.
They're going to watch another video. Okay.
Alright. You could potentially die from this little act of yours.
It's going to take us putting our bodies on the line, masses of us, more of us, to do this, to say that we are not going to allow you to pollute our waters.
All right, Ruby, are you there?
Yes, I am.
I'm at Mississippi Stand,
and I'm here until this pipeline stops.
Okay, so it's okay. It's an unfolding experiment every time. Just really quick, we had some more questions. You said I asked you about eminent domain. I don't know if you could. There was the Public Utilities Board oversaw the hearings.
The IUB, yeah.
Okay. And the
IUB is the Iowa Utilities Board.
Okay, Iowa Utilities.
And yeah, they have used in collusion with Dakota Access Pipeline eminent domain to seize private land from landowners for this pipeline to go through. Many landowners have tried to fight back, but with the IUB, their re-election season just happened while this was going on, and the board members were cherry-picked by the mayor down here in Keokuk to be supportive of the pipeline. So we are attacking this on all fronts, but we are also having to defend on all fronts. So it's definite that the sheriff's department here in Lee County is working in collusion with DAPL, and so is the governor actually of Iowa, the mayor here, the county attorney. So we're fighting a legal battle as well as a spiritual one here to protect our waters and protect our very way of life. This pipeline is going right through the heartland of the United States. This is our breadbasket here. We have our corn and our soybeans, and if we can't water our crops with clean water, then, well, we can't eat.
So somebody was asking in the chat if you all have a 24-hour ongoing account, correct?
That is true. After the eviction notice from Michael Short, county attorney here in Lee County, a landowner offered up his land so that we could continue the fight and sustain ourselves while we are actively on the front lines every day. So we are welcomed by the locals, and we do have a home base here.
And then somebody was asking what your all's experience with the private security has been so far.
It has been one that is escalating with the private security and as well as the police department. It has continued to escalate. Last week, one of your journalists actually was arrested and was required bond for the first time. Typically, it's just been a cite and release situation. And these past two lockdowns have also required bond. This morning, $2,300 was required to release one water protector. So, and then with the private security, it was just private security, low key, and now within the past 5 days, we have seen paramilitary here, and that situation is escalating as well. We actually have footage of paramilitary directing Lee County Sheriff Department as how to handle the situation. So that situation is escalating.
Well, thank you. I want to say thank you for that update. Yeah, we spent some time out there. That's kind of how I actually have spoken to you before. Real good. Good to see you again. Yeah, this is really quick. If people have more questions for Ruby, check out MississippiStan.com. And they're on Facebook as well. You can connect with them that way. I think they're on Twitter as well. They're kind of all over the place. He kind of listed the whole social media gambit. We're trying to bring somebody in from Standing Rock as well. And so I guess how does Mississippi Stand relate to Standing Rock and the people there?
This is the same battle as far as Mississippi Stand and Standing Rock. We are fighting the same black snake, and we are actively fighting it here as they bore underneath our waterways. So we are standing in solidarity with Standing Rock, and plenty of people from Standing Rock have actually come out to get the message out back in North Dakota that, hey, we need frontline protectors here ASAP. So we are in contact with Standing Rock, and we do have their support, and they are actively continuing to send support our way, and we really appreciate that. This is all of our water. We all share it, so it's everyone's battle.
All right. Thank you for that. And is there anything else? We're about to cut away from you, but if you had any other comments or anything you want people to know, it seems like you're asking for more people to come there, and the best way, I guess, for them to get hooked up is that website. Is that true?
For sure. Our number one need is frontline water protectors, and we have a ride share on our Facebook so that you can coordinate that way if you can't get out here. We have everything provided for us because we are on the right side of history, and we have camping supplies. We're working on winterization, but food is provided, and we are all here for the same cause. We are fighting the same black snake. So come on out and get down here immediately, please.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Ruby from Mississippi Stand, you all. Go check out that website. Check out their Facebook. We're not on the ground there anymore, but they're still I mean, after we left, there was the lockdown. Like the day we were leaving, the next day there was one. There's there's stuff ongoing there constantly. So check it out. Thanks a lot for joining us, and we'll try to check in again.
Right on. Thank you for telling the story, Lorenzo. Mississippi Stand Camp at Facebook and MississippiStand.com. Thank you, everyone, for your attention. Get out here.
All right, y'all. Whew, that was Ruby from Mississippi Stand. It worked. We got an interview in. It was super great. I enjoyed it. Yeah, definitely check out those ways to connect with those folks. It was pretty inspiring to be there and sort of see this other sort of, I guess, camp that's actively defending against the Dakota Access Pipeline. That was over hundreds of miles away, and they're still like in solidarity, still speaking to each other, visiting each other, and just wanted to make sure that people knew about that. So like thanks for again everyone who's watching. So we're gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring it to so after those direct actions happen, there was some stuff that happened in the camp. We covered a little bit of it. We have a lot of footage of it that we haven't really put together. It's sort of to overtell the overlaying story, but we're hoping to get there soon. So we're gonna watch two real quick videos, one on hip hop and resistance, and then we're gonna watch traditional horse games videos that went down in the camp as well. So again, thank you all for joining us. Please keep dropping those questions in the chat. You're seeing me ask them to people and answering them as I can. It's probably about 4 minutes of videos here, so get a little comfortable, get a little relaxed, and we'll be right back. But here's some hip hop.
In terms of like music, whether it's hip hop or something else, why is it important? Like for me, it's just a voice to be able to provide, make this shit go a little bit louder in different places where people might not be paying attention. It might just be a song that catches somebody's ears and shit, or might catch somebody's mind and shit. Like, so realistically, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you provide the anthem. It might be the thing that wakes up in the morning when the cat's tired, you know what I'm saying? Wake up, do something.
Yeah, throw your fist in the air. Time to let the people know why the hell we here. I'll stand with Standing Rock. Let's go. Stand with Standing Rock. Say that. Stand with Standing Rock. Let them know. Stand with Standing Rock.
But I mean, hip hop, provides the same shit. It provides a message. It provides people with an opportunity to be able to express the situation. And so for us, we utilize hip hop as a tool to spread the shit, like realistic shit. Like fuck everybody that's trying to destroy this earth, that's trying to destroy our people, that's trying to ruin our people. So we represent sometimes a voice for people who can't speak up. I mean, realistically, that's it. Do I want to do a show right now? Absolutely not. But do I want to be able to provide a voice for people that can't speak up? Absolutely. Do I want to be able to have the youngsters have something to pay attention to other than what's out there in the mainstream? Absolutely. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm obligated to do this because we got a message and we got something to be able to offer different cats who don't hear this shit otherwise. They don't want to hear a square cat talking on TV. Sometimes they want to hear that shit in a different sense, you know what I mean? So, for me, that's what it is. So.
To my survivors, to my uprisers, yeah, to my savages banging on the colonizer. We the survivors, we the uprisers, yeah, we them savages banging on the colonizer. Yeah, we them savages banging on the colonizer. We are finally facing the end of the cycle and end to the terror fueled by the Bible. Nature's turn against a civilized paleface. Join the struggle or live in denial. The choice is yours, but we got the rifle laid out for you to claim it. I can show you just where to aim. Some a big thunder with flint to brain, but we the mythics on the camp be contained.
Yeah, we've been at the camp here about a month now, and all the tribes have come together for a good cause. It's fight for our water, fight for our survival. When we came to this fight to stand up for what's important to us, horses are also a big part of our culture, our existence. So when we came to the camp, it was there was no second thinking. I guess it just came natural to bring horses, and I believe there's over 100 tribes here, and there's a lot of horse nations here. And years ago, when the tribes had gotten together, they had horse games, horse challenges to see who the better horsemen were, and it's all in fun. So I had helped them out today, kind of bringing some ancestral games back to modern day. Horse is a big part of our life, our culture. I think they bring a healing to our people, a healing that we all need. they're a big part of why we're still here. So it's a good feeling to be here, you know, to support and have all the tribes support, especially to see all the horses from all the different horse nations. It's a good feeling that our horse culture is still alive and well.
All right. So we're like an hour and a half into this. It's almost 9 p.m. We're wrapping up. It looks like we're going straight into the next video. That's getting really excited. We're still trying to piece together that interview. I don't think it's going to happen, so I apologize for that. We'll try to do that in the future. Try to bring in some people from just everywhere who are actively resisting this, and give you a chance to ask them questions. And also, we'll be asking questions. So, all right. So this video we're coming up with this is like a direct action. It was September 13th. 20 people were arrested. It's sort of the first time that the police showed up with just the riot police, and they had assault rifles and so on. So this is kind of like when they first showed up. And up until that point, they had just kind of come plainclothed and just interacted, and then things ramped up. And also at this time, there had been a checkpoint that was set up on Highway 1806. And so I didn't mention that, but just so you know, so initially the police were like, hey, we're going to arrest you tomorrow. Next day they came and arrested. Then they made an info checkpoint thing. And then I think at first it was a checkpoint. Then it turned into an info point when the National Guard came in. And they changed the language a little bit to make it sound a little friendlier. Real classic moves. But yeah, we're going to check this out. People took direct action. I think it was like kind of far away from the construction sites, but they were still actively building the pipeline. And at this point, people thought that Obama had stopped it. Like, it was sort of like the Facebook information that was going out around September 13th. It was like, they did it, they stopped it. And it looks like a group of people were like, well, no, they didn't, so we're going to show you that it's still going on. And then some people put their bodies in the line to stop it physically. So here's this video right here.
Yes! This is for the water! This is for the land! We are Earth's army! We will not back down!
Have a good day. Thanks, you too. You get a day off of pay now, that's cool. I'm here to show love to my brothers and sisters of Standing Rock and all the other relatives that came here to stand up to defend the sacred land and water. You know, allies are here in action, and look, there's pipes right here and they're digging right here, and they haven't stopped construction. So we gotta stand strong in our love for each other and the planet, and not let them put this black snake in the ground.
Folks are thinking there's no pipeline construction, and as you can see, pipeline construction continues. We're also here in solidarity and allyship with our native brothers and sisters in the Standing Rock Sioux tribe to show solidarity with their struggle and to protect their water and all our water. And to remind folks that this country was built on stolen land, and and a serious genocide was unleashed on the first peoples of this land, and the treaties that were signed need to be honored, and we're here to stand with them to make sure that happens and to make sure this pipeline does not get built no matter what.
We do see an automatic weapon over here.
Riot squad moving up. Riot squad is moving up on this side. Automatic weapons on the other side.
Everybody's walking down with their hands up. Work has been stopped for over an hour. Helicopters are flying overhead. Police have shooters on the ledge.
As you can see, they have automatic weapons. Sheriffs have automatic weapons on unarmed people.
Water is life! We are water! To the brothers and sisters out there watching!
Water is life!
We need you!
Stand strong!
Remember your prayers! Remember your ancestors! Remember their
for the
blood!
water!
Their tears! Their prayers! Remember that!
We are unarmed!
They're just pointing media out, saying he's going.
Press, sir. Press. My press pass right here. You're arresting press. Right here. Sir, stay where you are. You're under arrest for criminal trespass.
I'm press, sir. I'm press.
The Dakota Access Pipeline is being built by Energy Transfer Partners, a large corporation connected to petroleum giants such as Sunoco and Enbridge, funded by financial interests including Goldman Sachs and TD Bank. Energy Transfer Partners is also a major contributor to the campaigns of congressmen who insist that climate change is a fraud. The pipeline is being constructed to help move the excessive supply of oil produced by fracking in the Bakken Shale. And despite rhetoric about American energy independence, this pipeline will be used to move fracked oil for export to foreign markets. The Standing Rock Sioux tribe has repeatedly said they do not consent to the construction of this pipeline, which threatens their ancestral lands and sacred water. Yet permitting and construction has been repeatedly pushed through in an attempt to meet its expected November start date. Despite the recent intervention by the Army Corps of Engineers and Department of Justice to temporarily halt pipeline construction within a 20-mile radius of Lake Oahe, here we see fresh pipe being laid as Energy Transfer Partners is determined to get as much of Dakota access into the ground as soon as possible. Indigenous water defenders and their allies remain determined to permanently halt work on this pipeline, and we expect direct actions to continue indefinitely.
All right, so really quick, somebody in the chat was asking, has anybody been threatened with a slap suit yet? If you know what a slap suit is, like strategic lawsuit against public participation. I think that's what it is. Yeah. So basically, like, you can't participate in certain things. So, you know, they try to use it to control people's ability to move back and forth to like protest areas and so on. If it's like a specific action or it's under the banner of a certain name, you can't participate. From my understanding, there was an initial like restraining order that was kind of like a slap suit. I don't know if everyone remembers that, where certain people who had been arrested weren't allowed to go into these construction sites and so forth. And that since has gone away. But initially, I know the tribal chairman and Dina Yellowfat, the councilman, and then a few other people who have been arrested were on that list, but they're now off that list. So that's that question. Again, we're getting really close to the end here. We're going to go to sort of what's been going on recently is these caravans where people go out to work sites and pray. There was quite a few of them. I got there, I think, oh wait, that's not the right one. Well, I got there. Basically, this is going to be a video showing you one of those caravans and what they're kind of like. We're going to go there, and then, we're going to be getting ready to close it out here. So I want to really, once again, if you have questions, this is a really good time. We just watched about an hour of videos. So if you have any sort of inkling of wanting to know more about it, just drop it in the chat. But anyways, here's this next video, and then we'll have a couple more, and that's going to be the end of the show. So let's get ready to, I guess, go and relax more. Right, hit.
We shut down 5 different work sites just by traveling that back road.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Lorenzo with Unicorn Riot. We're on our way on a toxic tour. We're here in North Dakota. We're going to be looking at all the different pipeline sites. The Dakota Access Pipeline has continued. Hey, thank you. Woo! Continued to be constructed. Despite the 20-mile buffer, despite the injunction against construction in that area, all over the place, construction continues. So right now we're on a convoy, and we're going to go check out all the different construction sites. Hey, what's up, everyone? Yeah, so it sounds like work has been stopped at one of the sites already. Like, we've had helicopters overhead, and it looks like we're heading towards a work site, and work is already stopped before we've even gotten there. There's a little yellow helicopter floating around, following us. More than likely in a little bit we're going to see an airplane show up, and then we'll also see a second helicopter. So there'll be 2 helicopters and the airplane circling around the convoy as it heads towards different work sites here in North Dakota. Yeah, we're probably, I don't know, it's like 20 miles maybe, 15 miles from sort of the fence line where the dog attacks happened. Is probably where we're at. We're west of the encampments, probably northwest of the encampments. right directly west of the Cannonball Ranch, about 20 miles, I'd say right now, 15, 20 miles. We're heading towards where the pipeline construction is actively happening. This is where Maya and Happy were locked down. 2 people who were arrested, shut down work all day, but the pipes are now out here and they're still continuing construction despite that direct action. They did shut down work that day. So we're on 1806 heading south towards the encampments. We drove around and saw, I think, 3 or 4 different sites. There was no work at all of them. From my understanding, that's because work stopped when they heard the convoy was coming. This was the toxic tour to take a look at all the different work sites in the area. And yeah, we're about 7 miles north of the frontline camp, the Sacred Ground camp. And we'll be back in the encampment in a few minutes.
We're here because we stand for the protection of water. I want you to repeat after me. We stand.
We stand.
To protect.
To protect.
The water.
We stand. To protect.
All life.
We stand.
To protect.
To protect.
Future generations.
We stand.
To protect.
To protect.
The elders.
We stand.
To protect.
To protect.
All life.
We stand.
To protect.
To protect.
The water.
We stand. We stand. We stand. We stand.
Oh my gosh. God, I was surprised. Anyway, so somebody was asking more about charges. I wanted to give a little more information about that really quick. So initially when people were locking down here in North Dakota, people were being given, I think it was like misdemeanors. It was like trespassing and sort of obstructing govern like a lawful order, sort of. That wasn't the exact language, but it was just like obstruction. Since that point, the court, the prosecutor here has been upping those charges. So when we spoke to Mississippi Stand, they were talking about how early on people were just being released, and now they got somebody who was like $2,300 in bail. Right, that wasn't happening before. That's also the case in North Dakota. In North Dakota, initially they were just sort of giving people misdemeanors, tickets, and then eventually now they're giving them felonies. Some of the people who locked down are being given felonies and reckless endangerment, I think it is. One of the horse riders was given a terrorizing charge for allegedly charging the police. And also, as you know, a bunch of different journalists have been arrested, including some Unicorn Riot folks. Some of the different journalists have been given, one was charged with conspiracy up in northern North Dakota, where folks were, I guess, going on to shut down a tar sands pipe that was coming in. Documentary crew was there. They were arrested and charged with conspiracy, which is a pretty big felony, up to 35 years in prison, 45 years in prison. And then also, if you've heard that Amy Goodman of Democracy Now! Has been charged with participating in a riot, which I think is a felony as well. Anyone in the room can verify that. Felony. And so, I think so, maybe it's just a misdemeanor. But yeah, so the participating, I don't know, sometimes it is. But yeah, participating in a riot for just being there and holding a microphone and trying to get people's comments on what's happening and why. So they've been targeting a lot of different press stuff. There's like a Myron Dewey in North Dakota who has been followed around a lot, who had a drone confiscated, who's been documenting almost every day. And so I don't know how else you can prove you're a documentarian except for filming every day. And so that's been ongoing as well. So people are asking about arrests. People who are locking down and being charged with higher and higher charges. People who are participating in actions are participating just by being there and holding signs are and chanting and singing are being charged with higher and higher things as well. And so we're gonna watch a short clip of our journalists who've been arrested. We'll check it out here and we'll come back and say a few more things and probably call it a night. So here's this video real quick.
On October 12th, sheriffs in Lee County, Iowa arrested a Unicorn Riot journalist who was documenting water protectors take action to stop the Dakota Access Pipeline construction. This is the second arrest of a Unicorn Riot journalist in the last week in Iowa and the fourth arrest in the last month, after 2 of our journalists were arrested while documenting pipeline protests in North Dakota.
Yes, sir.
The police's targeting and arrest of our journalists, who spend endless amounts of time volunteering for our educational nonprofit media collective, violates First Amendment rights and has caused increasing monetary needs. We are not the story. We provide an outlet for the real stories to be told. Please help us continue by visiting the Support Our Work tab at www.unicornriot.ninja.
All right, what's up, everyone? So as you know, 4 Unicorn Riot journalists have been arrested covering the No Dakota Access Pipeline resistance. 2 in North Dakota and 2 in Iowa, including myself. I think all of us have been charged with criminal trespassing at this point. All of us have pled not guilty and asked for jury trials because we believe in the freedom of the press. Without us being out there to be able to tell these stories, I mean, somebody else, there's always other people who are doing it, but we're there, that's what we're doing, is trying to provide an outlet for people to be able to see what's going on the ground. And we have, at this point, been arrested 4 times, 4 different people, in 2 different states. And so I just wanted to call that out real quick. Yeah, so yeah, in Iowa, we were trying to figure out, trying to get a little bit of comments on why it felt like they were targeting journalists. When we got there, it seemed like their private security was, just following us, taking photos of our vehicles, taking photos of us. I wear a press badge that has my name on it, so I don't know why you have to follow me to my vehicle. It's on the press badge. Anyways, so just want to give a quick shout out to everyone who's been following along. Unicorn Riot's about, I think we're getting 2 years old. I don't even know how old we are. But and it's been all your support. So if you can continue to support our work, just check out the donation page on unicornriot.ninja. Support our work. Drop what you can into that bucket. Thank you, Mary Jo. Thank you, Nightbird, John Q, Susie Q, Drifting Blues. Everybody came in and asked questions. Makes the show way more exciting for me. I get to interact and say hello. We are Unicorn Riot. Check it out on unicornriot.ninja. Follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, Vimeo, and a little bit of the YouTubes, a little bit of twinkles in there. But a lot of love. Thanks again for joining us, and just keep following along. We're heading back to Standing Rock tomorrow. Peace.
3, 2. Hey, this is Nico reporting back from... Hey, this is Nico from Unicorn Riot. Check.
It's going to be awesome. So, looking forward to it.
You're under arrest. I'm oppressed. I'm pressed.
Military, police, feed the beast.
Are you filming now for real?
To check out more of our media, go to unicornriot.ninja.